Hello everyone, happy new year. I hope everyone is well. Everyone has not too big hangovers from all the alcohol. I didn't see the new year coming. I was asleep in front of the television. So here is my first live of 2025 with someone that I wanted to interview for quite a while, but we had a little bit of technical issues the first time round and then the second time round. And this time it works. So it's going to be really good. We're not going to be too serious either. We're going to try to have a bit of fun as well. And let me go to the chat quickly and see who is here. So let me add. So I'm going to please welcome Scott, aka Manning 8. Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. I'm so glad we finally managed to go live together.
Yeah, the technology problems are mine. I'm not very good. I have Apple computers, and in order to use Streamyard, you need to use the Google Chrome browser. And I was scared to download it, but I eventually tried it and it worked. So we're all good. But
and I don't know, Max. You know, I've been in IT over 30 years, and I only know Microsoft and all that stuff. So yeah. So I just quickly, before we're gonna start, I just quickly want to say hello to Irish Mart, Scooter Mum, Toronto Audit, Yolanda from Switzerland. Who else do we have? This is the people we have in the chat at the moment. Irish Mart, always very faithful, always jumps in, and Yolanda as well. I'm really, really happy. And I will try when you speak to start the comments if people have questions. And we're going to start as soon as. So, can you, Scott, introduce yourself first?
I can't see the chat, but we're good.
Can you see it or not?
No, we had the. Oh, well, no, maybe I can now. Yeah. Hi, Yolanda, Irish Smart, Scooter Mom. And anyone I missed? Okay.
No. Oh, we have more people watching, but not everyone is in the chat, obviously. Let me just quickly. Here we go. Yeah, if you could introduce yourself, you know, some people might know you, some people might not know you. And yeah, go on.
All right. Well, I'm Manning 8, and I do some Scientology protesting. Mainly, it's been in Connecticut, New Haven, Boston, and New York City. And then we were going to try one in Paris, but on Briggs' advice and Alex, we decided to not do that in Paris. So we just did a fun live stream, but I've been actively protesting for a year now, but it's something that's kind of unfolded over several years. But that's, I think, the basics.
When did you started being an activist against Scientology?
I used to watch Angry Gay Pope like maybe 10, 15 years ago, and I enjoyed why he would go to Los Angeles on his own. I think that's where he lives, and so he would face the full wrath of Scientology, and he was very, very brave, and he was entertaining, and I found it interesting. Uh, so I think that's when I first started getting some of these ideas, and I personally worked on some tax exempt abuse cases as a tax attorney, and so I thought, well, maybe there's something I can do about it. So like a few years ago, I went to the Cincinnati org, and I just did some B-roll, and I was going to explain the tax court case that Scientology lost. It's like a 75-page opinion, and it's hard to read, I think. So
Yeah.
and then I ended up getting this new job in New England, so it kind of put everything off a little bit. But so that's kind of how I got started watching Angry Gay Pope, and about a year ago is when I really started posting, videos.
I have to say, I really enjoyed your time in New York. I love New York, one of my favorite cities as well as Paris. Um, it was what I liked the most is your fake personality test you did on the street. Um, I think the one I saw was a guy who seemed to know quite a lot about Scientology. He came across a bit cuckoo to me. Do you know which one I mean?
Did he have a Southern accent?
Oh, me and the American accent don't ask me. I don't know which one is southern or northern. So
Okay, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, well, I think I know. I think I know who you're talking about. That's how I would try to describe him. Uh, Yeah, the idea that the fake personality test is to yeah, I want to talk to someone about Scientology, but if they're just walking by, they don't really know me, and they may not want to spend a lot of time with me. So this is just like Scientology uses it as a way to like get you in and get their claws on you. I do the same thing. I use their tool to get my claws into
yeah,
a passerby. And now that we've talked about their personality a little bit, what they like to do, now they're willing to talk to me about anything. So now we can talk about Scientology for a little bit more than I would have been able to had they just walked by and say, "Hey, you want to talk about Scientology?" My chances of being successful with that are very low. But after we've spent 5 minutes talking about, if they chew their food slowly or let other people start conversations, now we've got a little bit of a relationship, and it's easier to talk to them.
yeah. That's how I saw it as well. But I thought it was a very good idea. And I mean, from 10 question compared to 200 is
Yeah,
quite a good one, right? um, but I did really like it, and as well when um, where were you most? Was it in New Haven? You were most. I can't always remember the names because here in Edinburgh we have a New Haven as well.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, New Haven isn't good for foot traffic, so we're mostly just trying to disrupt Scientology by getting everyone to honk their horns. And some people will talk to us from their car; they'll pull over and talk from the car. But that's harder to get the foot traffic there. Boston and New York City, there's just so many people, so the personality test works better, in those cities.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's good when you can go to several places. I mean, here in Edinburgh, I haven't gone yet, but Scientology is just a doorway. And there's no shop front on windows or anything, and that doorways I think leads them to their place offices on the first floor. Um, so it's nothing special really, and it's I think above the door it says Scientology, but it's not how you say that. It doesn't say Church of Scientology or anything like that. And on Google, it's under the L. Ron Hubbard Academy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean Boston is pretty low key right now anyway. Until they, they may be able to open a new building, which is we definitely different. But what they have right now is a just a doorway on the first floor, and their office is on the second floor. And there is a sign that says Scientology. But we went to a fundraising party that they had, and even the Scientologists showing up for this party didn't know where the door was. We had to tell them where their own door was. So it's not that easy to find, and a lot of people aren't aware that Scientology is there, even when they're walking by it.
Yeah. What kind of what was your most interesting or fascinating encounter you had, either with a Scientologist coming in or going out, or any person that was interested to hear what you had to say?
Well, the most interesting encounter was very scary. I was in Boston by myself at that point, and there were several people who were very upset with me photographing them on the public sidewalk. One person was threatening physical harm, and it was really very uncomfortable for me. That turned out to be something that really I ended up getting a lot of subscribers and and a lot of views, and people would view the video for over an hour on average. Uh, but at the time, it was not comfortable. And eventually, Cubs Champions is another protester came over to assist me. But while I was there, I was sort of outnumbered, and there was some threats, and later on, I thought, oh, great, at least people kind of like that. But that really isn't the kind of protesting that I'm hoping to do. I'm not looking for a lot of physical confrontations of that nature, but that was one that stands out. And then there was the one in New York City where we literally pulled this poor lady out of Scientology. She was walking in, and it was very easy to talk to her and kind of sway her one way or another. She would have been in very serious trouble had she actually managed to go into Scientology, looking to learn about them. And as she said, she was curious about it. So we pulled her out and probably prevented her from ruining her life. So that was, in my view, my best interaction. But perhaps from the channel standpoint, the very uncomfortable conflicts that we had on the sidewalk there in Boston might have made the channel bigger. Well, for all the wrong reasons, though.
But you never had really the police or something like that called on you?
Yeah. The New York org did call the police, and they stood outside for a while and watched me, and then they just said, you know what, just don't block their door. Thank you very much, and they walked away. I've had the police walk by when I protested every single time, and they usually don't care. They don't. I say hello to the police, and they say hello back, and they just keep walking. So, I've been fortunate there. They're obviously not corrupted, in any way by Scientology.
Yeah.
So that helps. Other protesters have had difficulty in Boston, but I've been pretty fortunate there as well. So I think that just part of that is attributable just to my style. I'm not really physically intimidating anyone. I'm not screaming and shouting for the most part. Maybe once in a while, but not very rarely. And so and I don't block the entrances, and I haven't done any chalk messages. Sometimes that can lead to trouble. So my style.
They really don't like that.
Some places they don't. In New York City, they said they don't like it. In Boston, the police aren't sure what they would do in that situation. There have been protesters that did it. The police were called and they investigated it, but they kind of left it alone. But that's probably an area. It depends on the city where you are, whether or not that's a good idea. If you were in Kansas City, it looks like you can do it, for example. But
yeah, we see with C News, she does some quite amazing talking over there. But I think in general, not only Scientology, but the police, doesn't like it. But the thing is that me watching so many documentaries or true crime on YouTube and other uh, places, it looks like that police in general in America don't seem to know the laws, or the basic laws that they should know, like the constitution, etc. Because I think choking is actually not against the law. um it's difficult. I'm not saying all the police officers don't know, but in general, when there are many police auditors who have channels on YouTube, and they go into a public building and they're being thrown out because they say they can't record or video. And actually, as long as it's public, you are allowed to film or take pictures. And even security guards don't know this, and then they called the police, and the police said no, you can't. And actually, it's the First Amendment, right? So yeah, it's difficult, I think, because you have so many states, and each state has, again, their own laws as well on top of everything else. So
Well, the First Amendment is a floor, and you can't go below that. So you have those
yeah,
rights no matter what. And some states can offer more. Uh, the problem is the Constitution doesn't say anything about YouTube, right? So it depends on court decisions and the opinions, and that's when it gets a little bit more difficult because they have these weird balancing tests. They have this concept of traditional public forums, and so those are your sidewalks and your streets, your public streets. It's not public property, but it's sidewalks and streets, and sometimes the lawns around some courthouses and legislatures, but it's not all publicly owned property. And then
yeah,
and then the courts will tend to allow some reasonable regulation that could affect your ability to do this on a public sidewalk or street. So because the courts put this into a balancing test and they have exceptions, it's not as easy as it we'd ideally like it to be. But that's why I tend to stay just on the sidewalks and the streets, just because those are some bright line rules that I think are easier for everyone to understand.
yes.
That's U.S. specific. I don't know. Scooter Mom can talk about Canada maybe, but that's just for the U.S.
I just noticed we have a few more people that have joined. Let me just go a little bit. Hello, The Journey 2020. Thank you for joining. Amy's here too. New name. New name was away for a while. Hello, thank you for joining.
Oh, got Joe Buchanan. Hi, Joe.
Joe, yes, Joe. Joe lives here in Scotland as well, but on the other side where I am. So
I didn't
in
realize.
Glasgow, we still haven't managed to meet, but we will make it happen. Um, oh, new name. You say Happy New Year from Switzerland. Are you on holidays in Switzerland? Scooter Mum, we said. In Verbier. Ooh, new name. Verbier, that's very posh place to ski in Switzerland. It's not far away where my mother lives. My mother lives in Montreux. I saw other new names. Joe, hi Joe. Thank you for joining. Lovely. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna actually start certain thing. Hello, Style Audit 1A.
Style Audit. How are you?
New name. I saw another name early on. Oh, hi, Marta Morang. Thank you for joining. Okay, that's it. And Joe says, we will meet. So it's for the ones who don't know, but I think I repeated myself a lot on my Christmas live that you were in Paris, and fair enough, you couldn't protest or do anything. For the ones who don't know, French police are quite tough cookies, and Apostate Alex and myself told him to be careful because we didn't want him to get arrested at Christmas.
It's not the way you want to spend Christmas.
No, I mean, look, Paris is a beautiful city, but to be honest with you, I never visited the jails, so I don't know if they're nice or not.
I probably not. Probably not.
I mean, Paris is amazing place to be. I hope you enjoyed yourself. You've seen a lot of places. Um, look, Yolanda was at the opening of the org in Paris. Yolanda is, I told you, from FASA, the anti-Scientology activist group in Switzerland. And she says, I like Paris police with laughing smileys. So I suppose it's a sarcastic comment. Sorry. Like I said, we're not going to concentrate too much on Scientology either, but what did you see or what did you do when you were in Paris to make me a little bit jealous, right?
Well, we don't want to make anyone jealous, but we did the live stream at the Eiffel Tower and the Christmas market, which was a lot of fun. And then we let's see, I went to the cathedral and took some photos. I only did the outside; I didn't go inside, but they had quite a few heavily armed police officers there. So if you got out of line, you were going to have a real problem. But everything was pretty peaceful, and I took some photos that I wanted to take. There was one spot where I don't know, for those of you who know the author Sylvia Plath, she took a photo in the 1950s in front of the cathedral, but she did it in a really weird spot, and I never understood why. But then, so going to that spot, I solved this mystery that I alone had in my head. It's because the curb kind of cut in so that you could have a lane of parking. So it made this one little spot available where you could be on the sidewalk and then still have the cathedral behind you. So that's why the photo was taken in that way. I thought that was, for me, that was interesting to see. I went to the cemetery, which is, for those of you who haven't had a chance to go yet, like the Eiffel Tower is that direction in the west, and then the cemetery is all the way to the east. And there's like a tourist bus that goes.
So you're talking about Le Père Lachaise. Yeah.
There is one in the north too. I just met Père Lachaise. So.
Père Lachaise Cemetery is very well known for celebrities to be buried there.
Yeah. So, and they're just even the people who aren't celebrities just have these wonderful like family tombs, and so it's very cool to see all that. I went to the Jim Morrison gravesite. Obviously, I put that on my channel, but I saw some other, other sort of notable folks as well. So that was good. And then I got on the bus, and the bus driver just yelled and screamed at me. I don't know what he said, but basically he told me in French just to shut up and sit down. So I that's what I did. I ended up riding the bus for free, but I don't know what what caused all of that, what triggered it, but that's what happened.
Bus drivers and taxi drivers in Paris are the least nice people in Paris, to be honest with you. And I think I think the very first time I went to Paris, my friends couldn't come to pick me up, and I was 18. It was the first time I traveled on my own, and therefore I took a taxi. I knew where I was going, and he said to me, this is just around the corner, and he threw me out of the taxi. And actually, it was not around the corner. I walked for an hour until I get to my destination. And, when you know my age, and I was 18, that was 40 years ago. We didn't have mobile phones, nor a GPS on it from Google to get you to, So, that was my first encounter with the taxi driver in Paris. So, I always say, take a taxi in Paris when you really, really need it. Otherwise, take bus, metro, and
Yeah, so I took a taxi to get there, and I like I went through two taxis first. I didn't like the drivers. They didn't speak any English, and there were just things about them that just made me uncomfortable. So I waited for the third one. That guy was perfect. He loved being a tour guide and pointing out all the buildings. So I had the perfect guy, right? But then to get back, there were no more taxis. So that's why I got that bus. But I knew about the bus. I knew it was number 69, and it kind of just takes you east and west across the city. So that's what I did. And then I took some cooking pastry classes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot of fun. So now I can try to apply what I learned, on that. And that's, I think, pretty good description of what I did.
So I have another question on your YouTube channel. Joe, if you have Manning 8's link, everyone, if you haven't already subscribed to Scott Manning 8, please do so. If you don't have the link, Joe, I will copy it myself in. I see the top banner is a picture of the Sydney Opera House.
That was the last vacation I took. I mean, the last real vacation was 5 years ago. That's when I started my channel in Australia. As far as putting up videos, that's when I got my idea. I was like, oh, maybe I can put up some travel related videos or something.
So you lived in Australia for a while?
No. I just traveled there, and then I got the idea one day. Just I can just make some videos while I'm here and put them on YouTube. It's a lot harder than it looks.
No, it just jumped out on me, the picture, because I was born in Sydney.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Obviously, I don't remember. My parents came back to Europe when I was 18 months old. But my mom has still pictures of, in those days, the cheapest way to travel was on ships and not by airplane. And therefore, we left Australia on a ship, and Sydney Opera House was still being built. It wasn't finished. So that was in 68, 67, something like that. We left Australia. So I have never been back yet. So I am hoping to go in the next 2 or 3 years to Australia to see where I was born, at least once before before the end. So that jumped on me because I really would love to see Australia, especially Sydney, obviously. And I snooped around, obviously, a little bit. You're not only doing this anti-Scientology stuff. I've seen something about watches.
Yeah. So I just several years ago, maybe 8 to 10 years ago, just kind of got into that. So I try to learn about them and collect them, and just sort of enjoy the engineering and all aspects of it. So that was that was something that when I first started the channel, I put up more watch videos than I do now, but it was more watches and travel. Obviously, in the last year, I put up some Scientology videos. You might think it's only a Scientology channel, but I still have other interests in life. So I I'll at some point I'll put up a hotel review video from Paris. So I do, and I think last year I went to Montreal. I did a hotel review video, but yeah, it's really become mostly Scientology now. But I just think you need to have some other, just my opinion, have some other interests in life besides just Scientology. Whatever those.
Oh yes, that's for sure. Yes, I agree. I have a second channel which I still haven't done anything with it because I got this temporary job, so I just don't have the time at the moment where I just want to review stuff I'm watching. Stupid stuff I say always because I love watching all the Real Housewives of there, and there, and I like to bitch about them. So why not having a channel to do that? I want to do true crime as well. I just want a channel where I give my own opinion. I don't care if people share the same opinion or not. I just want a place to bitch about who I want to bitch about. But I haven't had the time yet. I'm trying to keep up this channel first now. Um, but yeah, time is short, and when you have 2 hours commute every day, even if it doesn't feel like I live far away from Edinburgh, but with buses and I don't want to go into Edinburgh with the car because it would take longer just to even find a parking spot. So yeah, so we'll see later on how it goes. Perhaps I need to plan better, but I come home way too late. And, when you have a zoo like me here, two dogs, a cat, they need to go out, they need to be fed, you need to talk to them. So, and then I have to take care of myself. So, yeah, but that's why I created the other channel. So I hope soon I'll be able to do something with it. Um, Coming back to the watches, do you have a collection? Do you have specific watches that you really, really like?
Yeah, I have a smaller collection. I mean, there's people on YouTube that have 80 to 100 watches. That's not
Mm.
me. But yeah, I've got several that I like and that I keep, and some of them do different kinds of things. So when I was in Paris, I had one that does 2 different time zones, which is helpful.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
very
you
helpful.
can figure out what was going on back, in Connecticut. But then, while I'm in Paris, I need to know what time it is there. So, some of it's practical, some of it's just fun, I suppose. Like, wearing a dive watch, like I'm really going to go diving, but it's handy, and then it can measure elapsed time. So when you're cooking, you've got a separate timer for something. So
I use my mobile phone when I need it in the kitchen.
Most normal sane people just use their phone. Yeah.
Did you see the watch that was created like here last year, the Moon Watch? It was in collaboration with Tissot and Swatch.
Yeah, Omega has since the 60s, they've had it kind of what they call their own moon watch, and it was designed to go to the moon. It's a chronograph, and it's been kind of like a staple for collectors for a long time. And then Omega is part of the Swatch Group, which is a really, really large company. It owns many smaller companies that you may or may not have heard of. And so the Swatch Group made a knockoff of the Omega Speedmaster moon watch, and they call it I
remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Swatch moon watch, and it's not like the watch case itself won't be made of stainless steel. It'll be like some kind of composite, but they're very cool and they're very collectible. I would buy one, but I haven't actually seen one.
But this one is special. It was because last year, I think in August there was a specific moon. I can't remember what, and they created this special edition in collaboration with Tissot. I'm pretty sure it was Tissot, not Omega, or was it Omega? And Swatch.
Yeah, I know that's Swatch and Omega have this the Moon Watch.
Or is it Omega then?
Like perhaps I don't know what they've done with Tissot. I don't really follow Tissot very much.
Moonwatch, Swatch. To Swatch. August 20. Oh no, it was Omega last year. Yeah. Super blue moon phase. That's what it was. There was a super blue moon in around the 19th of August last year, and they did that special edition
I
Swatch.
wasn't aware of that specific one, but they have
And
like four.
and people around the world, I mean, even here in Edinburgh, there were queuing for hours and hours to get their hands on, and they were not sold online at the time. They made people get out of their houses for that, and then afterwards. And I think there are still some you can buy online, but only in America and China, I think. There are none left in the UK nor in Europe. They say.
Well, collecting is like really serious business. Like if you go to a store for maybe for Omega, but definitely for Rolex and Patek and so many other companies, they won't have anything they can sell you. You can say you can offer to pay whatever amount, and they won't have one. They won't have one to sell you. So they've got this supply and demand bubble that they've sort of built up. I bought a couple of watches that I have on the channel still. I still have the videos up, but I wore them for 4 years and then I sold them for what I paid for. So it didn't even cost me anything.
That's not bad. Yeah.
You expect to go down in value, but these watches actually went up. Had I tried to sell them on my own, I probably could have made a profit, but I was content just to sell them back to the dealer and not risk getting robbed or something, so I just played it safe. But yeah, so I got to have these watches for free. So some people might say, "Oh, he bought these really expensive things." Well, yeah, but I sold them for what I paid, so I got to wear them for free for all this time. Like when I went to Australia, I had a Submariner, and I thought it'd be fun. The Maritime Museum in Sydney has a decommissioned submarine, so I thought it'd be fun to wear my Submariner watch in the submarine. Except I got claustrophobic. I had to get out within after 2 minutes. I thought, this isn't fun. I really have to get out. I'm in real trouble here. So I got out. But anyway, yeah, I sold that watch for what I paid for it, and so it didn't cost me anything. So that if you're really good at watch collecting, you can buy these things, wear them, and enjoy them for free, and then pass them on to someone else.
Yeah. I had watches when I was much younger. I have a watch that I got when I had my 10th anniversary with work the year before. I never worn it, so I'm waiting until I can get the price that. Well, I didn't have to pay for it, obviously, because it was a present from the company. But I want to sell it, but we'll wait. I don't wear it, I'm constantly having my phone in my hand. I touch it and I have the time. You know what I mean? Even though I love watches, but when I left one of my jobs in Switzerland, they bought me a Tissot watch, which I loved. That was my favorite watch. That kind of watch they don't make anymore. They do similar ones, but they're not as nice anymore. And then the friends we have in France that used to live in Paris. They had a jewelry shop in Paris, and I have a watch from the jewelry shop, which is very special. It's gold, it's oval, but I hardly wear it because it's quite heavy, but lovely, and has a little thing. I told you I can't find my words today.
That's all right.
um, Obviously, I have that watch still, but I don't wear it. And you have the laptop, you have the time in the corner. I have a clock on my wall over there, and that's about it. Um, I do like watches, but I don't. I'm not running for. Um, yeah, when I was younger, I really wanted a Cartier watch. The typical Cartier watches. Um, at my age now, not really. So, what else? Um, so what do you intend? Have you started planning for the year ahead, or for the next 2, 3 to 6 months?
As far as like YouTube goes,
Yeah, YouTube, Scientology activism.
yeah. So I've done I think 2 or 3 videos now on the Whitney Mills case. Whitney Mills' estate
Yeah,
is suing both Dr. Minkoff, his business, his firm, LifeWorks, and Scientology. And so I've done a few sort of updates where I talk about different things that have happened in the case. So I'll continue to follow up with the Whitney Mills saga and sort of explain what's happened. So before I went on this trip to Paris, I did an update where kind of reviewed a motion to dismiss the case uh, from Dr. Minkoff's attorneys, and it was
uh,
very amateurish. But I had to go through all the cases they were citing to show how weak this particular motion was. So I'll continue to do that. When we've got some favorable weather, I'll still do the protests, at the orgs. But I think it's going to be what.
that's interesting. I haven't finished watching this Whitney Mills ones. Perhaps when I'm finished, I probably will ask you a few questions, because reviewing this documents when you're not a lawyer, or not inclined in law, it's very difficult to understand sometimes.
Yeah, so they filed this motion, which is an application to the court for an order to dismiss, and it's like this thick, and they're citing all these other cases, to support what they're saying, but none of those cases really do what they say. I mean, some of them actually go the opposite way. They show that they shouldn't be successful, that Whitney Mills case should continue on. So that demonstrates how weak it is. But yeah, you have to be able to do all the research, and it'd be really tough for a non-lawyer. That's how I got started with Scientology videos, was trying to explain the tax court case, because I hear people talking about it sometimes when I watch different Scientology related videos, and sometimes people don't understand something that the court said or didn't say.
You
So,
see, the thing is some of the people who have YouTube channels in this community do review this kind of documents and have no clue what they're actually reading, and then they're trying to explain what is in the document, and I'm like, you have no clue, not a nouns like me, so I'm not going to listen to you, because um so I'd rather listen to people who knows, and we don't have many people that know the law that can actually read these documents. I'm always very impressed, actually, though, how DOA probably he had enough of his own trial documents to learn, but he seems to understand what is written. Streets LA as well. but there are not many of these lawyers on YouTube that would review. Perhaps I should email some of them that I watch sometime if they want to review some documents. That would be interesting. Or we throw it all in your way, Scott.
If nothing else, you can just have a discussion about it. There's some value in that.
Oh, I always like this stuff. Doesn't mean I understand everything, but I'm never scared of asking questions and say I don't understand. Can you explain? And explain it with words I understand as well.
Yes.
I'm not someone who throws the big words out. And as you all hear, I'm not British. English is not my mother tongue, so I speak very simple English.
Yeah, most lawyers aren't really very good at explaining something, except to other lawyers. So that's unfortunate for that profession.
Oh, pardon me. So, apart from law documents to review, are you going to continue in the places you normally go, or are there other places that you intend to go one day?
Well, for the most part, Boston and New York require about 3 hours of travel to get there. So, um, Boston, if you look at a map, it'll say 2 hours, but people in Massachusetts just stop on the highway, so it makes it three. Um, so it's tough to go beyond that, but I'm not unwilling to travel to other places, but I don't have any immediate plans to do that. But if there's an opportunity, then perhaps I will. Like, for example, Paris, I was going to be there, so I thought, well, why not? But it just depends if there's an opportunity.
The thing as well in Paris, if you don't speak the language, obviously I never ask you if you speak French, but if you don't know the language, and I don't think where the org is, there's a lot of tourists passing by there where the org is. Perhaps you can tell me because you went to see the org from the outside, but it's not exactly an area where you would have a tourist walking around like you would have it in the Champs-Élysées and Notre Dame, etc., where you could actually stand there with a thing and talk about Scientology in English. So I don't know.
It would have been definitely difficult. When I looked on the map, I saw that there was what we'll call a soccer stadium nearby, and there was a train station that showed up. That's what I saw on the map. But when I was in the car going back to the airport, we drove past Scientology,
Mhm.
and it was a very industrial looking kind of neighborhood. It was
Oh
not
yeah, yeah.
a walker friendly kind of place. So that's the kind of thing where if you've never been there, you don't know what you're walking into necessarily. So I didn't know that in advance. That
The
would have
thing
been
is, the thing is that you have the Stade de France there. It's the main football stadium in Paris there, but it was very busy area during the Summer Olympics that went on in summertime last year. Um, that would have been a time to be there, but otherwise, like you said, it's more like it's not a very touristic area. You don't have the Eiffel Tower around the corner, and people are not going to come to Paris to go and check out the football stadium, right? um so and Ludovic told me, I think they had this building for about 5 years and they didn't do anything, and a lot of people thought they would never opening opening the building before the Olympics started, and they did manage it. And one of smaller television channels in France, they went actually undercover into this building, and it's practically empty. So it's not very successful org, really.
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah,
a,
yeah, no, I agree with you. They don't really have a footpath there, right? So yeah, they should just stay there.
yeah. Well, so the more information you can have and be in advance of going somewhere, the better. And even in Boston, New York, I know those neighborhoods so much better now than when I first went to those places. So now I'm better able to do some protesting and do some things before and after. But yeah, your first time at any org is challenging for on many levels. So.
Well, um, I think that Scientology is lying to themselves, they're lying to the public, but because of all of us, we manage now to find the correct numbers. I mean, for example, in France, you have the org in Paris, you have one in, I don't know them by heart anymore, but uh, there are another two, I think, Marseille, Lille. Why don't I? Probably I.
If they've got more than two, that they're doing pretty good, because I wouldn't have thought that they would have that many members.
No, I can't remember now, but a few, and but according to they're saying, I don't know how many members they have in France, and actually it's not correct. They don't have um that many members throughout France.
You got a lot of comments here. I can't really see them.
Yeah, I have start a few, so but I'm gonna go backwards actually.
Oh, is that Adam? Yeah, hi, Adam.
Yeah.
I just see it. I kind of see some movement over at the side, but unfortunately, because Scientology is crazy, I have to wear shades even though I'm at home.
Don't worry about it. I know you first. You sent me a picture before, so but I understand. Don't worry. But there are things that I wanted to show you. So
Thanks, Scooter Mom. Yeah, so the
uh,
Toronto area might be nice to go sometime.
Amy, that's crazy. I lived in New York City, and there was always chalk on the sidewalk.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
see?
seen the police lecture, not me, but I've seen them lecture some other protesters in New York City about the chalk. So I thought, oh, I better not try that one.
No. I'm sorry if this is is Manning a protester or former member? Manning is a protester.
Yeah, no, good question. No, I'm never in, never in.
Never in. Um, mm, mm, mm. Our Joe loved Manning's Dancing with Holly. That was a fun time for a good cause.
I'm
I
glad.
missed that.
And I remember Joe Buchanan is the one who made the donation to blow the lid off the OT3 volcano. So thank you, Joe, for your support for Cubs, because we were trying to help Cubs champions on that day, raise some money.
All right. Um, I think Manning does a great job breaking down the court filings.
Yeah, thanks.
I agree. Someone new. Hello, LINY 7514 Minion. Manning 8. The building here on I heard through the grapevine is still empty. Gonna check it out again soon.
Oh, that's a long. Yeah, they built one in there. They bought one in Long Island. I
Ooh.
saw Minnie. Yeah, Minnie sent me a couple pictures of it, but it's yeah, it looks like it needs a lot of work. their eyes are bigger than I think their budget or their manpower and their ability.
I think I think that as long as they getting money, the best way for them is to buy real estate. Because if you have money on in bank accounts and for whatever reason money can be taken for your bank accounts, but the buildings can't be taken away that easily. So I think that might be one of the reason they're buying so much real estate. They just don't have enough people to fill them. That's why they're empty.
Yeah, well, if they lose their property tax exemptions, that real estate won't look like such a great asset anymore.
Well, that's true too, but we want to get the tax exempt removed.
Absolutely. So that was one of the wins of 2024, though. Scientology is paying property taxes in New Haven now.
Are they?
Yeah. So
Oh, that's good to know. So if it happens,
so other assessors in other parts of the country may see that. If you look at every state has property taxes, and they'll have a statute on the exemptions. And so it's almost never just be 501c3 and you get it. Usually you have to use the property in some certain way and do some other things. It's state specific, but other assessors may find that Scientology isn't doing what they need to do with that property. And even though they're 501c3, it may be not enough to maintain the property tax exemption. That's a real liability they have. And perhaps they're only starting to understand how bad that could be for them. So we'll see how that goes.
okay, sorry that it got a bit. Oh, here we go. Um, hello, Adam Carmona. Um, the Eiffel Ideal Tower is the mecca of technical perfection.
Ideal Tower?
I don't know the Eiffel Tower if that's what he's talking about, but yeah, it's a beauty of a place, that Eiffel Tower. I love going up there. You know that I've been also on the top of yes, I've been on top of the Empire State Building, but that's not what I mean. The ones that came down, World Trade Center.
Okay.
Um, I think in the 90s, and that was quite impressive because um, you have glass floors. So you look straight down, you're in between your feet.
No.
Luckily for me, I'm not scared of heights, and but people are tiny little dots, not even ants, tiny little dots. It's quite impressive. It
Yeah,
was quite impressive.
I did that at the CN Tower in Toronto, and I did not like that. I don't like heights like that. Yeah, that's so you stand on a platform, you can see through it, and that's it bothers me. Bothers me.
The I was on the on top of Stratosphere Hotel in Las Vegas, and on top at the top they have a bit of a roller coaster, and they have this thing at the top that goes, you sit and it goes up and then back down, and
Oh,
they have roll. So if that's the edge of the building, right, they have this mini roller coaster and they goes like that and stops, and I'm like,
stops.
normally I'm not scared of these things. I said, no way you're putting me in those things. No. No. And
Yeah.
people sit there. I mean, that roller coaster really, it goes like that and stops, and then it comes back up. And I'm like, no.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
it's not even that high up as other buildings I've been up, but no. And that thing that goes really up fast, I mean, your stomach must be flying off as well with that thing. I mean, uh, terrible. I wouldn't go there.
Yeah, that's not really my idea of fun. Teach their own.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me just go a bit through. And I apologize to everyone. I really can't go through all the comments, but everything that is related to Scott. Everyone wishes everyone a happy new year. Everyone else that have joined, we also wish you a happy new year. So he says hello to you.
Hello.
Sorry. Yeah, my touchpad is very sensitive. Scooterman Manning, you also kind of far from your screen.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's a reason. There's a reason for that. That's why he wears glasses.
Yeah, I don't know that there's like a way to zoom the laptop camera like I would, if I had if I can. Is that better if I put it on my lap? I can put the laptop on my lap.
It's okay. Well, it was okay before, but
Well, it bothered it bothered someone. Scooter mom, I think.
it was Scooterman.
But this
Yeah.
is a better idea anyway. I did notice that. Not I kind of regretted there was no way to zoom the camera in. So I thought, well,
No, I can't do that either. No. So
but I
and
noticed that.
I'm really sitting at the edge of my sofa because Bonnie has
Oh, yeah, someone's snuggling behind
her
you.
part plus her ass behind mine, and then I still have the cat here. She takes so yeah. So uh yeah, that's what LINY says. Laundering the money into property is what they're doing. Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. But if we manage to get the tax exempt taken off in the US, then empty properties won't be. I mean, when you see clear water in Florida, I think it's disgusting that politicians are letting so-called, even if it wasn't a cult, if it was a church or a religion, to take over 75% of a town. I've never seen that anywhere else than in America, right? It's unbelievable. So why wouldn't people like us not believe in corruption everywhere else? Right?
I don't know what Clearwater's going to do if there's no tax base anymore because it's all tax exempt. How are they going to pay for things?
They're gonna have to start selling the buildings.
I hope they thought about that.
If they keep that building here on the island empty and not maintained, the town will come down on this on them. Same here, they'll have to pay taxes.
Yeah, that's probably what the result. I don't know what the New York statute looks like, but that's should be the result if it's not being used in a way that furthers some tax exempt purpose.
Especially when there are homeless people everywhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, that Long Island building, you couldn't just convert it easily to an apartment, but an apartment
No,
building.
no, I don't. I understand that not every building can be converted, but I mean, use as temporary accommodation for, immigrants or things like that. I mean, I just don't understand that they have this possible. That's why, because they're so empty, it's because that's where they put their money.
Yeah, but it's a large building in Long Island, and if the ABC Corp owned it, then at least that would generate some tax revenue for that jurisdiction, and then they would have more money to pay for tents or hotels.
Yeah.
How New York would do it.
At some point, the orcs will be staffed exclusively by delivery robots. I don't know if Adam means that seriously or I
Adam,
think it's
Adam always has
you know,
hilarious comments like this, but he brings up a really good point in doing so, and that they're really struggling for people, right?
well, yeah.
So we'll just have to make it even harder for them to recruit.
And Scooter Mom replies, Adam, they almost are now. Yes, that's what I meant, the Twin Towers. And you only could go on the top of one of the towers. You couldn't visit the other one. Yes, that is correct. I've seen that, and they also paraglide from it as well.
Oh, geez,
Yeah.
not for me.
Ding dong. Um, Sorry, I'm a bit slow. They're talking about heights now. I think it was because you couldn't see the comments, Scott. Yeah, that's true.
Try to read styles here.
Here we go, Adam. I knew I've seen this before. They buy historical buildings, which allows for reputation laundering too. Interesting. What does reputation laundering mean? The reputation of the building. If it's a historical building.
Well, if you've got some goodwill built into a building and now Scientology buys it, perhaps they can latch on to, good feelings people have about that building. I had a really nice one in Boston for a while. It was a house of some historical value.
Yeah. I know that in Edinburgh, I read somewhere, I need to find that article again and perhaps make a video about it. I know that they bought a building in Edinburgh, the other side of Edinburgh where they are now, and were meant to move there a few years ago, and they never moved there because they're still at the same place. I need to figure this out. Perhaps I saved them, but I have a bit of a mess with my bookmarks on my web browser. It would be a shame if eminent domain claimed they're building for a freeway that never gets built.
Yeah, real shame, huh? You have to have the political will to do it, though.
If I'm correct, I'm not sure, but can't remember where I saw that in America. I don't know if it's the same in every state, but if they want, for example, build a freeway, the government is allowed to buy your property, and you have no say in it, right?
Yeah, that's basically right.
So why don't they want to start building freeways everywhere where there's a Scientology building? Would be fantastic, right?
Yeah, or build a park or, some other public
Park, yeah. I don't know. Did you see the documentary from Leah Remini?
I watched parts of it.
There was in one of the episodes, I don't know in which season, but this really struck me. They're in clear water and they're sitting on a bench in a park. And they're not even sat down. It was Leah Remini and my granddad, not even sat down for 5 minutes. and the police arrives, and they tell them it's private property, they have to leave the park. And I don't know, that just stuck with me. I still see the image, but like I said, I don't remember which season it was and which episode. But I thought, how can the police come for something so stupid? There's enough crime everywhere to look after than for two people parking their backside on a bench in a park, right?
Yeah, well, it's Scientology, and
Yeah.
Mike Rinder is gonna, bring a lot of
Oh,
attention.
wait a second. Oh, what's going on? I somehow, ah, I missed something. No. Uh, it's an upper class neighborhood. I'm not even allowed to post flyers on the poles. It's huge and not for nothing, but it's a very nice building.
Yeah, they've got an eye
Mm.
for real estate at Scientology, don't they?
So LINY is in Long Island then. Do you know?
Yeah, she is.
Ah, okay. That's a pity.
A pity they bought the building, not the not the meeting is in New York.
Uh, Bridget, to make Scientology look better to politicians. Yeah, I get that. Let me see. I mean, it sounds like it must have been an expensive building to buy. Then again, they scammed the wealthy public into paying for it, I guess. Well, that is the thing is, is sometimes when I'm on my own and think about these things, I'm like, but how stupid must people be to get caught in something like that? But then when you get interested in all different kinds of cult, I mean, interested in how people get in, um, you always think, you always find out there are some very intelligent people that have joined, etc. And you wonder, but why? And many years ago, I can't remember, was it on an English channel or a channel somewhere in Europe? They were interviewing a psychologist about these things, who was specialized about cults. And he says, very intelligent people, they search for something better or special out there. And that's why they get caught in cults. And somehow it made sense and he gave me some kind of answer. But I don't think I'm that stupid. And it never came across my mind to join something. I mean, I did the personality test in London when I was 20. Fair enough, I was not on my own, I was with my friend. And we knew straight away before we did the test that my test would be rubbish because I'm 4'4" and my friend was 6 foot something and his test was beautiful and everything. And I was at the border of suicide and everything. And actually, it wasn't true. I had the best time of my life in London. I was just 20. We had, we went to school, we went out every night, we had fun. So, yeah, I don't know. Uh, did I read that before? Oh, yeah, I did. Adam, preserving significant building allows them to present themselves as pro-social and community orientated. Yeah, but they're not community orientated. Scientology puts the cult in cultural preservation. Oh, that's a good one. The thing is, when you see what they're doing next to the blue building, this is only to attract new people, new members. And we do see at the moment it's all Spanish speaking people. We need more people speaking Spanish.
So it'd be helpful.
Oh, El Sarmento. Hi, El Sarmento. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Hello, Elsmena.
The government do need to buy it at fair market value, but you have no choice in not selling it to the government.
Well, I mean, you can argue that it's not being used for a public purpose, but after the Kilo case here in Connecticut, it's really hard to do that. But the government does have to show that it's for public purpose. But that's really easy for them now after that case.
Yeah. All right.
And I think in Michigan, either they have to pay 110% or 125% of fair market value. So some states, have increased, what they have to pay.
One politician and a builder with a bag of money in a motel room. Et voila, a new freeway gets announced. Et voila, exactly.
Miss Cabbage Freeway.
In some say historical have some protection against eminent domain though. Well, here in the UK, for example, we have and Joe will help me with that because I can't find the words. You can great protect buildings when they have some kind of historical importance. So or even not even historical, even the type of architecture don't you find anymore or things like that. So you have, I think, three different grades. Even a normal house where people live in can be graded, but then the problem is, and that's how they get protected, but when they graded these buildings, you can't do any changes. Even if you own the building, you have to go and ask for permission to do this kind of job or work on your own house. We do have protections, but okay, 15.5 million dollars they bought that building for. It's on 5.2 acres of property, huge parking lot. Wow. Why do they send some millions on to my bank account? Huh? What's that? Iron Cabbage Road coming soon.
Elron Cabbage, I think is.
Oh, I read Elron Cabbage. That's a good one.
Elron Cabbage Parkway. New York has all.
Here, George Ezra, listed buildings graded. I think there are three grades. Here, let's see what Joe says. My old flat was listed and couldn't be touched on the outside. Yeah, it can be touched, but you need special permission. That means you need to go and ask, and it can take years. Come on, Eli. They have enough money. I'll settle for 2 millions.
As long as we're being reasonable here.
So I would be able to buy a house where I have enough bedroom. That means bedroom for me, guest bedroom, then a room for each dog and one for the cat. Not all together, one dog has his room, each dog has. No, I'm exaggerating, but it would be nice. It's nice to dream once in a while, right? And most importantly for the dog, a big garden they can run and run. But you have to harass someone to get some sign to money. I'm not good at harassing people, but I'm good at annoying people when I want something. Joe. I take 1 million. So you guys think I'm looking for too much? Let's see what Adam is saying. When Scientology is finally out of those buildings, the exorcism cost will be astronomical. Yes. Can you imagine all the mediums and things like that will come running?
Yeah, that would be really interesting to look at a former Scientology building that's somehow been condemned or abandoned, see what they leave behind.
Where Scientology got evicted? Was that in Toronto?
Oh,
A
yeah.
few weeks ago, a few months ago. Was it Toronto? Is Scooter Mom still here?
Yeah, I think I see her message here to Adam, so she might still be here.
I think
Was that the regular rental org? Also, I wasn't positive about that because that's where Scooter Mom will go.
I'm pretty sure I watched a video about it from Jeff, PTS for Life. I think it was Toronto. I can't remember. Yes, they were evicted from their rental org. They were quite empty offices as well. Okay, let me see. Someone agrees with me. Yeah, house, car, and separate house for pets. Oh, separate house for pets. That's an idea. In fact, Scientologists send me money now, or the cabbage gets in there.
Oh no, Miss Cabbage.
Well, as long as
One googly eye. Let them know you mean business.
yeah. Adam, who you gonna call? 1A Postbusters. Oh, thank you guys for making us laugh. That's nice. We don't always have to be serious, right? But yeah. And I mean, we know it's true. I always go back to LA, but it's because even though I've never been to LA, I feel like I know it. We know all about Skid Row, right? And all these people living on the streets. When you think how much Scientology could help them and put them in empty buildings, because they have quite a few empty buildings in LA as well. But anyway, we'll stop talking about serious stuff. I don't know if you need to go anywhere. Raising my hand and waving, Adam is bad. Is he bad? Let me go back. About the Postbusters. Give me a second. You can talk to the people, Scott.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. It's not really my channel. Hopefully, everyone's enjoying their day off and their holiday here. It's back to work tomorrow for me. It's been a while, so I can only imagine the pile of crap that's on my desk right now.
Sorry. You awake? Yeah.
The only good thing I can say is that the big boss now has vacation, so I should have an easier on-ramp to get back in the swing of things.
Well, I didn't have them. Oh, look who's working up.
Part of the zoo.
Yeah, the other two don't really like to come. I mean, Bonnie is next to me, but she doesn't want to sit up. I tried to do that this afternoon because I ordered her a hoodie, and it's a pink hoodie and everything, and she didn't want to sit up to show on the video call with my mother.
Hmm.
And I tried to follow her with my cell phone to show my mother, and she just doesn't want to be seen. And Baxter is always sleeping. Yeah, he's still sleeping. So, well, style audit, you don't really have to raise hands. I, until now, cross our fingers, touch wood, right, Joe? We very, very rarely have. Actually, it's not rare. We never had anyone nasty in my chat. Everyone is always well behaved. We love each other. We have fun, um, even when it's serious, because that's a good thing. Um, did you see this one? Manning sleeps under your desk like George Constant. Who is George Constanza?
It's a reference to the Seinfeld TV show. This George Costanza character was very, very lazy. I mean, that was part of what made him funny.
I remember I used to watch Seinfeld, but how did he look like?
He was the shorter guy. He was kind of balding. On the top.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes, I don't remember names. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, no, Scientology. Yes. Yeah, I remember. Lazy.
He worked hard at not working.
Yeah.
He was very dedicated.
When I stopped working in April, at the beginning it was all right. I'm like, oh, finally, I worked so hard the last 2 years. I worked overtime. Fair enough, that was on me. It was my fault that I worked so hard. But, I'm single. I have my dog. And I always volunteer to help out everyone. And so when I stopped working in April, I was like, oh, it's holidays. I relaxed. It was nice. And then with time, I got lazier and lazier. And I was more tired and more tired and more tired. And when I started this temporary job, I tell you, um, I didn't last 5 minutes. I haven't seen my bed since I started this show because I fell asleep here on the sofa in front of the television. I can't, and I wake up about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I need to get up at 5 anyways. So there's no point in going to bed. Um, and I don't remember why I was saying that. I talk too much.
Yeah, there was a time I slept on my sofa. I don't know why I did that, but I just got in. I didn't just started sleeping on the sofa. There was no reason not to sleep on my bed, but I did that for. I remember did that for like a period for like 3 or 4 weeks. It just I just started doing it, So whatever works best.
That's what Joe is saying is I'm more tired being off sick still. I'd get so bored if it wasn't for this community. I agree with you, but after a certain time, it goes so much in my head, and I can't watch everything that is going on, and there are certain channels that I don't watch because I find them either boring or repetitive. I think at the moment in the community, it's very repetitive. I don't know. I never told you that, Scott, but I'm not interested in the Scientology, the bridges and the OT levels and how you get. I don't care about that. What is more important is that people know about the mental health issues, how about Lisa McPherson and you see, I already forgot her name again, the other lady, and yes, and the children abuse, the elder abuse, the human trafficking, that needs to get away, and that's the word that needs to go out. We don't need a PhD in how to get to the higher levels in Scientology. It doesn't help me to get the word out that they are a cult and that they're mistreating people in there, right? um and there are some channels who constantly do this, this that, and I'm like, I can't watch this anymore. uh for me personally, it's not that important to know about it.
Yeah, you won't see me talk about the difference between OT4 and OT5. I don't even know. I know about OT3. I know about OT7 and 8 a little bit, but that's about it. It's more about the illegal activity, what they do to people, what they do to their own sort of members as well as protesters, the tax exempt scam. That's what I kind of focus on, and there's some channels that really talk about all the different policy orders, or L. Ron Hubbard did this and Flag has this order. I don't wade into those waters very often, but there are channels for that if that's what you're interested in. But mostly, I think it would be difficult if you're trying to communicate with someone who doesn't know anything about Scientology, or trying to warn them to stay away, trying to help generate support for revoking the tax exemption. Then Flag Order 1277 isn't the best tool, I don't think.
Mm. The thing is that I already have difficulties, because English is not my mother tongue, but I think I have the same issue in every language I speak, is abbreviations. So, you get into this community and then they start. It took me a while to memorize what awesome was standing for. And then they come with more abbreviation. And in general, in the English or French or German language, when they come with abbreviation, I'm like, what are they talking about? I have enough with OMG and LOL. I don't need more to add to my. And so you get into this anti-Scientology community, and you're being thrown, all these abbreviations, and I'm like, oh bloody hell! But we do have actually. I can't remember. I think no, I can't remember the name now, but on the resource page of sptv.space, in the resource menu at the top, you have all the explanation of this, not only abbreviation but meaning to certain words within Scientology. So it's like a dictionary, really. It's really well done. But I will need to have a check. Someone took a lot of time to do this for us. That was amazing. And sometimes I think I'm gonna have to redo a video about the resource page.
Yeah, so how are we doing with sptv.space? Is there going to be like an update? I thought I remember either you or Fluffer talking about maybe a new version of this.
A new, well, a new how you say that, a new website for sptv.space. That means only for the ones that are online or who is activist, protester, ex-Scientology or survivors. It's there. But sptv.space will still be there.
Oh,
Um, but Fluffer has come down with the flu quite badly lately, so she has taken some time off. So the new website is in the works or is finished. I don't know. We haven't had a meeting. Yes, December was for me quite busy, and Fluffer was ill, and Holly was not Holly, Ali was working quite a lot as well. So we I need to double check with them. I don't know much about them. The resource page has been very, very quiet because no one sends anything in anymore. I'm working on the help database as well, but that has is in the background at the moment because I don't have the time.
it's going to be renamed, as Amy was saying.
Yeah, it's actually just a rename. And also, Fluffer has quite a lot of ideas, and I think those new ideas came into the new website. But the rest, like the resource page, etc., will be the same place as always. So what I was saying, I think, here it's the Wikitology. Yeah, here Wikitology. So if I go to Skywriter wrote that. So OSA is not here. OT levels. No, not that. The abbreviations are not there. Gizmo. Picture of Street LA's dog. So you have to be really, really well known to get your dog's picture in our wiki. So yes, sorry. I was actually checking who did that for us. It was Skywriter 140. So we're quite a few people helping us out. It's very, very quiet for the last 3 months or so. It's been very quiet. I'm gonna have to work on something to put the video out there again, remind people, because we have very good resources. We need more people helping to send the info in for taking the tax exemption off. Let me just, I sometimes waffle around. We'll go to categories. Here we go. Calls to action. So everyone can send in these emails in English or Danish to the Danish politicians, contact the US House of Representative candidates, FBI claims never ins, that's run by Fat Grammy, aka Mona. Then there's a video link or a link to a video by Mindy Williams about how to remove Scientology's tax exempt status. Then the ex-Scientologist claim. Then there's form letters and resource Dropbox, the IRS complaint process for tax exempt organizations. And then another one, which is it's the petition on change.org by Jessica Palmadessa. to remove as well the tax exemption. So there's a lot that people can help. Oh, and I forgot also, we need chat GPT testers for Scientology. That means not only testing it, but giving feedback. She doesn't get feedback. Um, and that's about it at the moment. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that to revive a little bit. And let's see the.
Oh, we have some new comments here.
Yeah. And then I see comments and I have no clue what they're talking about. Oh, here I was.
From Amy. Can't. Oh yeah, so Amy was talking about how you can sometimes miss a live stream. I noticed on my last live stream it didn't seem to pop up because I looked at a separate screen. But some people didn't want to be listed, I think, or aren't listed because maybe their channel's too big. But yeah, so sometimes I go to sptv.space and sometimes I rely on my.
Well, the thing is that
notices.
When the drama was on, many people contacted. Well, drama, the issue about the SPT Foundation, and therefore thinking that sptv.space was run by the foundation, which has nothing to do with the foundation. That website existed way before with that name. The foundation came with that name much later, and so many of either activists or protesters decided to send emails to Fluffer to get removed from the website. So she doesn't put people on the website if without them knowing. So if they don't want to be there, and we have people that are back on the page and some are not there anymore. I like to see who is on his live, but yeah, you can't always. I mean, some of the people, and I mean, I've done it before on lives that I intended to do a 1 hour live and ended up finishing it 3 hours later, on my own without anyone talking to me.
Oh, that's hard to do.
Yeah. So, okay, let's go because the dogs are getting a bit, they want to go out now. Let me see. People don't believe in Scientology. They buy into it. Janet Reitman. I don't know who Janet Reitman is.
Can't argue with that though.
So she's still working on it. So and don't ask me what the name will be because I don't know. I haven't been told. Oh, Amy says it's going to be renamed. Well, it's not going to be renamed. It will be a separate page, but you can type it sptv.space. That's how I understood it, and it will direct you to the new one. Or you can type in the new website name. I'm just going to click on each comment. Knowing the inner workings of Scientology can be useful because it's an aspect of their fraud. Totally. Style says bye. No, Scooter Mom said bye to everyone. That was a while ago.
Oh, okay. I screwed him. I'm going to go back to watch the replay.
Hi, Brad. That is Drop Short Media. That's Brad. He's in the south of England. He was at the ISA, another abbreviation, protest outside Sand Hill in the UK. That was a few months ago. That was organized by Apostate Alex as well down there. And Brad turned up, and Samuel from Switzerland, also an ex-Scientologist. He's the SP chef. I don't know if you've seen his channel before.
Okay. Well, everyone seems to have two names. You know, they have their sort of handle, and then they've got their.
The thing is, some people have strange handles on YouTube, and when the names are strange, I don't remember. But if you tell me your name is Scott, okay, your handle is not difficult, Manning8. But I do like to know the names of the people, if you know what I mean. But after a while, it's difficult to remember also. Let me go and continue.
Yeah, I've seen SP Chef, but I didn't know the first name.
So many aren't on the site, so sometimes I miss live. YouTube doesn't always send when the people who aren't on the site go live. I know if I see that it's been scheduled, I click on it and notify me. Either I'm being notified or not. But I have to say, lately YouTube notification hasn't been so bad. So
well, sometimes I end up getting either unsubscribed or I get changed from subscription with the notification with the bell to just a regular subscription. So I think I can rely on it, but then I find out. Well, I know better now, but there was a time I.
But that's been a YouTube issue for the last 2 or 3 years, that suddenly you're not subscribed anymore to a channel you've been subscribed for quite a while. This is some kind of issue that YouTube still hasn't managed to sort out. That is a problem. Okay, where was I? Yep.
Going through the comments, I think.
I would love a list of training routines, TR. Check with Scientologic. She might have this.
That would be up Holly's alley for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there are huge stuff as well. We have a lot of documents in France where when Christmas stuff will be over, Ludovic will try to do something there as well in France. Oh yeah, I forgot, Brad. Happy New Year and thank you for joining. Amy, I think once the new side comes along and everything more clear who is out protest, then people will come back. I agree, Joe. That is one of the reasons is that it's Alice and Fluffer's website. Okay. It's not run by anyone else. It's by Ali and Fluffer, and that's it. I'm just the editor of the resource page. I came much later into it's the idea of Ali and Fluffer. It's not run by the SPTV Foundation, by anyone else. It's Ali and Fluffer, and that's it. Just that people understand. And I agree, it should be then much clearer by then. Yeah.
Yep. Right now, I'm just like Amy. I think I look at SPT space. I look to see who's alive, and maybe there isn't anyone. Then I look at on the left side of the screen for my subscriptions, and I hope that it works. But sometimes YouTube does what YouTube does, and you miss stuff.
I wondered if some streamers removed themselves from the site when Osa was contacting some streamers' family and employers. No, it was not at the same time. I don't think so. I think this community is quite tough. I don't think we are scared. We see that most activists or protesters in LA didn't really give Just a sec. Bonnie, don't start whinging. I will finish soon, but you have to wait. Stop whinging, Bonnie. Lie down. Lie down then. No, I'm not moving the cat. Okay, sorry. No, I don't think it was at the same time. Good night, Brad.
Thank you.
YouTube blocks people from you and vice versa. YouTube blocks people from you and vice versa. Yeah, and I have, for example, yesterday I had 256 subscribers. Today I have 254. By tomorrow it will be back up to 256. I have no clue what they're doing. Shush, Bunny. Shh. Lie down. Stop whinging. You know it annoys me. Yeah, that's even more annoying. Thankfully not had that happen to me. Night, Brad. I think... How long have we been on? 2 hours. You okay, Scott?
Yeah, I can hang in it for a little bit longer. My computer hasn't switched over to red yet. So I think I've got at least 21% of battery life, but it's getting down there from what I can see.
The dog's waiting for the dinner. I know it's late. Normally they eat much earlier, but I always feed them before we go out because my younger dog has a condition since he was born. Is he eats, he digests everything, and then if he's at home, he doesn't care. He will poop. He doesn't care. So that's why my routine is they eat and we go straight away outside. So that's why I didn't want to feed them before we were meant to go out. So that's why Bonnie, my older dog, she's 14. She's the one that complains for everyone else. Everyone else waits until she starts to complain. And she has this, she whinges, she does, mm, 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 and she knows it annoys me. And I'm like, stop. And she does that as well in the middle of the night to wake me up.
Some pets have very good timers. You can measure what time it is by when they get hungry because they're just eating at a certain time.
So, sorry. So, now it's time to feed them, and yeah. So I don't know who you're talking about, Joe. She is talking on behalf of the others. Who?
Your pet?
Oh, yeah. She means, yeah, Bonnie is talking on behalf. Yeah, the other two are they're just waiting. Thank you, Joe. I get you.
Pet advocate.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's the oldest. She normally is quite quiet, and Baxter jumps like a goat, and when he gets excited, he jumps on with all fours. And he will never ask for anything because he knows she will do it. So, everyone is waiting. So, I think this was brilliant, Scott. I'm sorry. I think I spoke too much and didn't let you speak.
No, it's fine. I'm glad we finally got it to work.
Yes, that's perfect.
I'm the technology problem. I'm not good at technology at all. Got the browser situation.
Joe is so funny. She was protesting. Give me food. Yeah, and invite me. I would love to do something with you about, when you go through these law documents, interests me very much. But for me to read them, I need someone to explain me stuff.
Okay, well, we can
So
work on a possible panel. I was talking to someone else about it, so we may
that might be a good idea. Yes.
something we could work out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Jo likes true crime as well, so perhaps she might be interested. But she doesn't want to be on camera, so that's another problem. But she might change her mind. I'm trying to change her mind anyway. She didn't want to be my mod, and now she's modding I don't know how many other channels. You can't get her away from modding anymore.
Seems to be doing a good job. You haven't any trolls that I've seen.
Sorry, totally forgot. Amy loves true crime too. So you see, you're gonna have to find some blokes as well, though. Okay, then I think we're gonna have to. Jo can use an avatar with the camera off. Yeah, that's true. She can. I'm very much. I mean, compared to my Christmas live, we had much more views. Thank you, Scott, for joining me. We need to do that again one day, if you want. And even if we don't want to talk about Scientology, that's fine too. I'm quite happy to do something else. What is 10 o'clock? So it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well be midnight if you look outside. It's pitch black.
Here, well, the days are starting to be longer. So, but still, by around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's dark here. So, and when I say dark as it would be midnight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Kind of like it is right now. But the spring will come. But yeah, if you want to talk about maybe Whitney Mills or something in the future, because we've got a young woman deceased, got a handgun. We don't know the source of that. We've got,
yeah, her story I don't know very well, so that would be good. We had lots of people speak a lot about Lisa McPherson, but Whitney not that much. So that would be very interesting.
Yeah. Same rotten Scientology doctor in both cases as well.
Yeah. Okay, then. Thank you very much for joining me, Scott. Everyone in the chat, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed having Manning 8 with us. And Happy New Year, Scott.
Happy New Year, everyone.
And I can't wait to see what you're doing next on the streets of wherever.
Yeah, probably New York next. We'll come up
I'm
with
so jealous. Every time I see your videos from New York, I'm like, I haven't been in so long. I think last time I was there, Ground Zero was still there. So that was before it was rebuilt. So
yeah, I haven't done any lives from Lower Manhattan, but maybe we'll work something in.
yeah, no, it's normal that you're around the Scientology.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I think I'm better off at the org, but
Yeah.
I've thought about ways to incorporate some different elements of New York into it. So.
Well, I liked when you arrived on Times Square and you had all the whether the superheroes or were they robots? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, there are people that dress up in costumes no matter what. It's not just on Halloween; they do it every day, and they try to get you to take pictures with them, and it's all kinds of crazy stuff that happens there.
Okay, then. Thank you for joining me, and I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Brig. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye. And et voilà. Thank you, everyone, and see you soon.